Good day, folks. It's another one of our health nuggets today, and I'm going to talk about the Itera technology from the East, I reckon, Pacific Rim, Far East, wherever. It's not from the West. And it's a huge discovery, and it falls in line with the discovery of Gerald Pollack on the fourth phase of water. But I won't get technical. I want to speak layman's language today, and we're going to give you an overview so that you can know what to expect. We'll go into detail of these topics in future, but I want to give you an overview. The whole concept of the Itera device is based on water and frequency, or water and vibrations. Now, everyone knows what water is. In the authoritative books like the Bible, it's mentioned more than 700 times. It's in all the ancient scripts and belief systems, and there's no life without water. So, I'll focus more on frequency today, because here is the Itera device. It's a frequency device and heat and light all at the same time. So it's a combination of three different things, and I'll just give you an idea of what it means. What is frequency? Frequency is the measurement of a vibration. So everyone knows what a vibration is. A music note is a vibration, and a leaf twittering in the wind is a vibration, and the sunlight is vibration, magnetic field is vibration, electricity is vibration. And if you want to investigate it, there are demonstrations of vibrations plenty on the internet. For instance, they take a medium like sand, put it on a steel plate, and introduce a frequency in there, say like 528 Hertz. And then you see the behavior of the sand on the plate, meaning the frequency is vibrating the plate, and the plate is reorganizing the sand on it, or the particles. That is the effect of a frequency, which is invisible and intangible, into the material world. So all around us are frequencies. Every atom has a frequency. So why is it significant? Because frequencies influence the material world. The material world is what we can see and touch, and what you can see through a microscope. That's the material world. But that's only part of the whole cosmic world around us, or the creation. It's the particles we can see and touch, but you can't see air, for instance. The air is here between us, but we can't see it, but it's there, and it's actually a combination of different components like oxygen and hydrogen and so on, carbon. But why this is the significance is that frequencies influence matter. That's what the real thing is. Now, you can even measure things like mental processes, like a thought has a frequency, and an emotion has a frequency. And those all ripple through into the physical world. And also, there's been discoveries around, I'll get to water in a minute. But the terahertz frequency is a selected range of, in the frequency range that's known to us. It's the one right next to the infrared on the scale of frequencies. And only a tiny fraction of the big scale of frequencies is the visible light. That's what we can see. The human eye can't see beyond that. There are creatures who live deep down in the oceans. They have different light, visible spectrum for their eyes. Some creatures don't even have eyes. They just live by frequency, so they can feel. I've seen blind people who can feel color by just putting their hand close to the color, which they can't see, and they'll tell the observer what color is underneath their hand. So those people have developed, because they're blind, they developed a better sense of feeling frequency. Light emits frequency, flowers emit frequencies, bees and all the insects work on frequencies. The bat works on frequency. It catches mosquitoes in the pitch dark while they're both moving. Whales communicate with each other by frequency right across vast areas of ocean. And so every material thing in the world is driven and altered by frequency. So this device is a benevolent device. Its purpose is to make us, there's the name, Itera, there is the name, and there is the safety stamp from the European Union, who have tested it to be safe for humans. And there's a 10-page report that testifies to this. And so we don't have to worry about safety features here. There are some caveats when you treat yourself, and that is that it might create a complication if you have any prosthesis in you, like tooth fillings or a hip replacement or bolts in your spine or something like that. It's not recommended to treat those. So it's not dangerous. It's very safe. It's been around for about 2 years, and especially in the Pacific Rim, like those areas like the Philippines, it's very popular and well known there. And why is it beneficial for us? And this is the big thing. It holds huge benefits because the world we live in is not friendly. It's not a friendly world. We have food that is degraded. We have strange non-human frequencies around us, especially with technology, like Wi-Fi and cell phone signals, cell phone towers. In South Africa, our electricity is run at 50 hertz, and the human frequency is run at 7.83. Let's call it 8 hertz. It's a vast difference. So that frequency of our nice electricity in the home can disrupt our bodies, because our body wants to work at 8 hertz. And that is why grounding is so useful. If you stand on the ground, your feet, your body actually resets itself, because the ground is running at the right frequency, and sunlight is also at the right frequency. So the benefits of sunlight are much bigger than vitamin D. It's also, the sunlight is not dangerous. Of course, it's got infrared, which can burn you if you're overexposed. But the sunlight is the perfect frequency for a human. So then you get the interaction to explain how it works. This device projects the right frequency, which is friendly for the body. It's actually required by the body. It's in the terahertz band, right next to infrared on the spectrum. If you look up the spectrum of frequencies known to humans, you can find it in any textbook. This is the big thing. We are compromised unless we live in perfect conditions. What does that mean? So there are communities on earth who are close to perfect, like the Hunza Indians, for instance, in Pakistan. They have no toxicity, no pollution, no electricity, no lawyers, no psychiatrists, no jails. It's a harmonious, almost perfect society. But what do they have? They're out in the sun all day. They also have no fuel. So they eat raw food, which is produced naturally, without pesticides and hormones and genetic modification. They don't have electric interference in their world, and their water comes out of the snow-capped mountains every season and fills the rivers and dams, and it's perfect water. It's got all the minerals you need. We don't live like that anymore. We buy food that is processed or transported over long distances, cold storage for ages, and so we have to be on the defensive now. And so you can say our cells are being deprived of enough input so that the cells can produce life. The cells actually need a type of electricity to do their work, and that electricity is called life, and the DNA does its work, and we call that biochemistry. It's actually not chemistry, it's more than chemistry. And to call water H2O is an insult. So if you, the perfect counteract for the world we live in today, to restore ourselves back to normal, is to get the right frequency and the right water to meet inside our body. And that will produce enough life energy for the cells to do their work. The DNA is wonderful. It knows how to heal a wound. It knows how to make a new human. That stuff's all programmed in there, but the ingredients have to be supplied from an external source. And this is what this device is doing. So now we see the results. I'll explain in the next talk what the benefits are of this device on a biochemical level. But what we've seen is, to the lay person, looks like a miracle. The person suffers from some skin condition or a joint disorder, and then they use the right water, and the device shining on the water through the skin, it can go about 200 millimeters into the body. So you can, if you're quite slender, it can reach your spine just by pointing it at your chest. And so those people have improvement in their condition, and it looks like a miracle, because they've tried all the things they know of, like medical treatments and so on, without results. And at the best, they manage their condition like an underactive thyroid. They can't heal it because they are not dealing with the cause. And the cause is malnutrition and lack of enough frequency, of the wrong frequencies. And so the Hunza Indians don't need this device. They do it in their environment, their way of living. They get it automatically. Us people, and the more civilized you are, the bigger city you live in, the more concrete and steel you have around you and electricity, the worse it gets from a frequency point of view. So we have a major solution here, a breakthrough, and it's not that new. It's 2 years old. I remember when credit cards were first introduced, people were very suspicious. Some shops wouldn't accept them, and some humans wouldn't use them. That was about in the early 80s. And now they're actually obsolete already. People are going to stop using plastic. They're going to start using scanning technology and QR codes and so on. So one of the ways this is also beneficial, you can treat water with this device, and the water then becomes structured. Structured means water is structured, but it becomes unstructured. It becomes disabled and messed up and disharmonious from the pipes it's in, and the manipulation and chemicals that it's treated with. So by the time you get the water, it doesn't work anymore as water. It's just wet stuff. But real water is the part of the energy producing formula. Good water and good frequency. So the device gives the frequency, and you can treat the water with the device, and then you have structured water. Structured water is the water that is required to produce life. And I'll give a talk on water sometime. It's a fascinating subject, but it's a very long talk. So I'll try and break it into chapters. So the ideal thing now, to have a solution, is you structure the water and drink it. Then you already have a benefit. Then if you use the device and direct it at the water in your body, it will produce enough electricity so that the DNA and the cells can do their work. And that is the whole story around it. It's fascinating, it works, and I speak to many scientists. They want to know how it works, and then you have to go into textbook style lectures and so on. But in the end, they get it because they are scientists, and then you have to use different language and so on. I don't want to use that on a general audience. But so we have a solution now. It's fantastic, and it's in South Africa now as well, and many other countries. 52 countries the last time I heard, and some countries have 11 countries have stockists in the country, and so it's available to everyone. And if you look at the Philippines, they even form clubs there, and they club together and they share the device. It's not that expensive, about 400 US, more or less, and you get a bigger device for clinics and so on, and professional use. But I think our two options is we don't have to leave the civilized world we live in, and we can just use this device and counteract some of the negative influences on us. So in our next talk, I'm going to deal with some more benefits of using the device, the terahertz device. So until next time, good keeping.